everyone. Welcome back to Sally's Backyard. I'm Sally. Just want to thank you for joining me. I'm coming to you from the south central portion of Ohio, and I live here with my husband and my dog Riley. This is my first video of the new year, so Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you all had a good holiday, and I hope you all have had a good start to the new year. Ours has been pretty quiet, which is how we like it. We hope it stays that way. I've got a finished object, I've got a work in progress, and I've got a few other things that I want to share with you today. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I'll show you my finished object. I had a couple of projects in the works before the holidays. I was working on a knitted cowl, and I was working on a pair of mittens that had an interesting construction. I frogged the cowl because I was getting bored with it, and I finished one of the mittens and they didn't line up quite right. So I think my stitch count was off. Well, I know my stitch count was off, and I was getting frustrated. It was the holidays, and I just said, I'll come back to this another time. So I ripped that out, I frogged it, and I actually started something else with that yarn, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. My finished object is a crocheted scarf, and this is based on the Cosy Stripe blanket by Lucy of Attic 24. It's a free pattern. You can find it on her blog or on Ravelry. But I used a strand of natural colored DK weight yarn, and I held that together with a strand of fingering weight, and I had a bunch of mini skeins left over from other projects and some that I had just never gotten into. So I used that, and instead of, I set out to make the Afghan, which that's what I was going to do originally. But holding two strands together was a little hard on my hand. So I ended up with a scarf, but I think it's still really pretty. So here you go. I just love these bright colors. Some of these yarns were from the Cat Lady's Valentine yarns that she did a couple of years ago. The Valentine Hearts mini skein collection. That's Andrea of the Cat Lady. She's not dyeing yarn right now, but she is a very talented yarn dyer. She's taken a little break from that. But anyway, this is how it turned out. And I love a fringe. Gotta have the fringe. Just so pretty. But I just thought these colors were so bright and so pretty together. It's been so dreary and cold here this January, and I really just needed some color. So that's what I did. Made this pretty scarf, and I love it. Turned out so nice, such an easy pattern. So yeah, that's my finished object. I used an H hook, 5mm, and yeah, this only took me, I don't know, a couple of days, I guess. Sometimes when I get frustrated with projects like I did, the ones that I had going during Christmas, and I end up frogging them, I always go back to a simple crochet pattern just to get myself back in the swing of things. The second thing I want to show you is a work in progress. This is with the same yarn that I was making those mittens out of before, those knit mittens. And this is Serenity Farms. It's Carrie's yarn. I've shown you this a couple of times now. It's in the Dunbonnet colorway, and this is yarn from her sheep. It's a Corriedale Morit blend, and it's a sport weight. So I will show you this in a skein. It's so pretty. It's so springy. I love it. It just has the nicest feel to it. And I'm making the Sophie scarf. I've made the Sophie shawl, and I decided that this would be a good project for me to do. That's very simple to knit, and I love working with this yarn so much that it just makes this very simple knit that much more enjoyable. So this is what I have so far. Not a lot. I am using size US 4 circular needles, and let's see if I can see the numbers. Probably not. Okay, there we go. And that is a 3.5 millimeter, I believe. Yeah, 3.5. Let's see if that shows up. Does that show up? Not even close. All right, well, it's there, trust me. But anyway, I've been working on that, and I put a little stitch marker on this side. This is the increase side. I have a row counter on my phone, and I use that, but sometimes I get distracted, and then I can't remember if I've gone on to the next row or not, like if I've marked it on my row counter. So I decided just to put a little stitch marker on the side with the increase. So just in case I forgot, even if I missed a row or two, at least I would have the increases on the correct side. So yay. So that's what I'm working on. And this will be just a nice little easy scarf to make. I can wear this in the fall. I can wear this in the spring, winter, of course, if I'm just out with the dog or whatever. So yeah, very pretty yarn. Love it. So that is what I'm working on. I also started a little crochet project, and I'll put a picture of that up here. These are called the Woven Hearts by Nastasia. And here's a picture of them. You can see, and I'll put another picture up so you can see a little better. But they're woven together. This is a crochet project. And I just thought those would be kind of cute. I'm making them, this calls for an Aran weight. I'm using a worsted weight, cotton, just some cotton I had in my stash. And I thought these would make cute coasters to put out around Valentine's Day. So I'm just gonna make a couple of those for fun. Anyway, that's what I'm working on in the knitting and crochet world. Order some yarn from Knit Picks. This is Brava worsted weight. It's an acrylic yarn, and this is the Cherry Speckle colorway. I have 3 skeins of that. And then I got the Brava Tweed worsted, which is also acrylic. And this is the Rose Finch colorway. It's kind of a mauve color, pinkish color. And I got 3 skeins of that. And then I also bought a set of US 8 5mm double pointed needles and a set of US 6 4mm double pointed needles, DPNs, because I want to try to make a knitted sweater for my granddaughter. I want to try a cardigan, and I want to try a pullover. So this is what I ordered these for. And I'm looking at the Tin Can Knits flax for the pullover and the Tin Can Knits Harvest for the cardigan, because they really have detailed instructions, and they take you through step by step, which is what I need, somebody to hold my hand. And also they have an app now. Tin Can Knits has an app, and it's really nice. They have their free patterns on there, and you can link your Ravelry account. And they also have their patterns for sale on there. But it also walks you step by step, and then you can just click. If you don't understand something, you just click on it, and it takes you directly to their instructions on their blog of how to do it. And it's just very well done. So anyway, I'm going to try that. And this is a project that isn't going to happen right away. This is just something that I'm kind of thinking about and wanting to do at some point during this year. So, but now I have the supplies to do that. So I will keep you posted. on Instagram called Everyday Reading, and the host of that account is Jansen Bradshaw. And she is hosting a read-along book club for this year, and I guess she's done it several years in a row. And my youngest daughter contacted me and said, hey, Mom, you want to do this together? We can read these books and we can watch her Instagram posts, you know, about the books. And, you know, of course, her and I are texting back and forth about the book that we're reading, or that we just finished, the first one. So yeah, if that's something you want to check out, it's Everyday Reading. Of course, I link to everything in the description, so you can find everything I talk about there. But one thing that she gave was a link to a reading log that's a coloring page, and I am a sucker for a free coloring page. If you've been following me for a while, you might know that. But anyway, it's this 2024 reading log, and you can color in however you want, if you want to keep track of the books that you've read this year. So far I've read 4 books in January. I've been coloring these in, and I've been kind of trying to mimic the colors that are on the covers of the books. But just a fun little project to go along with the online book club. So I've been working on that, and actually I've started my 5th book and my 6th book. I never used to read 2 books at a time, but I have in the past read 2 fiction books at a time, and didn't enjoy that as much. So what I'm doing now is I'm reading a nonfiction and a fiction at the same time, and that seems to be working out really well. And my husband and my older daughter bought me a pair of earbuds for Christmas, and so I just started listening to audiobooks. So what I'm doing is I'm listening to an audiobook on my earbuds, and then in the evening when I go to bed, I like to read in bed at night. That's when I read my fiction. I have a lot of books in my Goodreads queue, and of course with the book club, there's another book coming up. I just picked it up at the library the other day. And if you want me to talk about what I'm reading, let me know. If that's something that you're interested in, I'd be happy to do that. So yeah, just kind of a fun little add-on to the book club. So I'll keep you posted on that. One book I am going to talk about. My husband picked up this used book for me the other day. He brought it home after work, and I just thought that it was the sweetest thing ever. It's called Weaving the Rainbow. It's a children's book. And this is by George Ella Lyon, and it's illustrated by Stephanie Anderson. And I did check on Amazon, and this book is still available, so it's not out of print, but it is just the cutest thing. And it's used. There's a few little stickers, but I don't care. I just wanted to show you some of the illustrations. They're so beautiful. And this is about a young woman who is a shepherdess, and she's raising her sheep. And just look at these photos. They're so pretty. Look at that. And you see the little sheep down there at the bottom. They're so cute. I love children's books. I have always loved children's books. When my girls were little, I loved to pick out books for them and read them. This kind of goes through a sheep's year, starting out with the lamb. And I'm not going to read this to you, of course, but I just really wanted to show you these illustrations because I thought they were so cute. And the story is really sweet too. And so it goes through their year. It starts with lambing, and then it goes through the spring, and she takes them to the fair and they win first prize. Look at that. These watercolor illustrations are just adorable. Yeah, I want these to hang on my craft room wall. And so she shows them as they grow and how the seasons change. This is one of my favorites here. And the fall leaves. Yeah, it's just so sweet. But anyway, she gets to shearing and gathering the fleece and getting it prepared. And this whole time she sees rainbows. And here she is spinning the yarn that she's gathered, the fleece that she's gathered. She's now spinning that into yarn. And eventually she is going to create a weaving. Oh, but first she dyes all of the plant material to get ready to dye the yarn. So it shows her doing that. And then it shows all the beautiful colors that she's created of her yarn. This book is just, when he brought this home, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like everything I ever wanted in a book. It's so sweet. And here she is setting up her loom with the different colored yarn that she's gotten, that she's dyed from her own sheep. And then finally at the end, she is working on her weaving, and it's white sheep in rainbow pastures. In rainbow pastures, she weaves white sheep. So here's her weaving and her white sheep and all of the different colors. So yeah, so if you get a chance to look at this, check it out at the library or look on Amazon. It's called Weaving the Rainbow. Very sweet book. I'm going to keep this in my office and I'll share it with my granddaughter when she comes to visit. I think she would enjoy that. But yeah, who can resist these faces? So sweet. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I enjoy making these videos. It's as much a part of my creative process as any other craft that I do. I enjoy the editing process. I'm always trying to learn something new. I'm always trying to try something a little different, but I like to show you what I do during my days, besides just my crafting. So I like to show you what's going on outside my door. I like to show you a little bit of nature in our backyard. So if you've been with me for a while, thank you so much for coming back. If you're just joining me, I'm so happy you found me. And if you would like to hit the like button and subscribe, that would be great. You can find me on Ravelry as crochetster, and you can find me on Instagram as @Sally'sBackyard. My account is private, but just send me a DM or a request, and if you look legit, then I will I will friend you back. So yeah, I will see you all next time. Take care, everybody. Bye.